Hey guys, Machines and Mel here. Just wanted to show you this old pressure washer I found the other day in a scrap metal pile at local greenhouse facility. They threw this out. Um, it's a pressure washer. It's a 4,000 psi pressure washer with a Honda GX390 on it. I think that's the 13 horsepower, and it's got an AR pump on it. Looks like an AR pump. So, you know, these greenhouses, they have a lot of money, and when things start to go wrong, they just buy a new one. They don't generally fix things. And anyway, so this, I notice a couple things right off the top. I see that the recoil's broken. I also noticed that these aren't the original bolts, so someone's had that off before to fix it. And I also noticed that the switch is broken, and there's a dent in the tank, and this is bent here, so the handle's kind of no good. And then the other thing I notice is that someone has removed the quick connect coupler off the pump. So I don't know, I checked the oil in the pump. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know if you can see that. It's not milky. It's actually pretty clean. So here's hoping that the recoil's broken and the switch is broken and there's a dent in the tank and this thing's good to go. Because this is easily a $400 or $500 pressure washer on the used market if it works. We can pick up one of those fittings at the auto parts store probably for about $6. And I'm not sure. Maybe the engine seized, guys. I don't know. This thing doesn't look very... Oh, oil's pouring out. It's pretty black oil. So, I mean, it's a good sign there's oil in there. What I'm going to do is pull this recoil assembly off and see if the engine turns. And then if it does turn, we'll needs a pull handle. We'll re-rope that, re-spring that, whatever it needs. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's full of farm fuel, red farm fuel. Doesn't look rusty. I honestly don't think, ooh, it stinks. I don't think this thing's old enough for there to be much rust going on in that tank. So anyway, I'm gonna pop that off and flash back to see what's inside, what's wrong with that, and maybe we can get this baby started. I don't know if I have a fitting here. I'll look around. We can tell though if it's making pressure just by connecting a hose to it and starting it, but we really should have a fitting. You might have to rub one off of something else here in the shop. But anyway, I'll be right back with recoil off. Alright guys, so I just took those 3 10mm bolts. Sorry I'm not filming this. I just don't have a tripod thing set up here at the shop yet to film these little jobs, taking things off, talking about them. Eventually here I'm gonna get a tripod and we're gonna mount that baby like that, and then I'll step you through each step taking things apart. But for now, this is all I got. I'm here by myself. I don't have my trusty camera person with me. So anyway, we pulled off this recoil. Obviously something's wrong with it. It's kind of seized up, so we'll take that apart and figure that out later. But I just wanted to give this a turn to see if it has compression, because if it has compression, it probably is going to run. So, oh, there's something there. It's pretty, yep, there you go. So it's got, oh yeah, lots of compression. This should run, guys. These Hondas are indestructible. So I'm going to fix this recoil now, take it apart and fix it, and put it back on, and then maybe I'll drain this carburetor bowl and see what comes out. If it doesn't look too bad, I'll try and turn this back on and film a start for you. And if it starts and runs, we'll warm it up, change the oil, and then hook some water up to it and see if that pump works. Be right back. Alright, so I had to turn the camera back on for this one. I pulled the center cap off right there that holds down this recoil, and as soon as I lifted the recoil drum out of the cage, it started to wind the rope back up. I cut the handle off because the handle's garbage, but what I noticed was that I don't know if you can see it, but you see those fins. The fourth one down there is bent in. There, now you can see it. It's bent in, and it's actually pressing against this drum. So that's why this didn't wind back in, was because somebody had dropped something on there, or there you go, done something to it. Pardon the disaster. I've had an incredibly busy week here at the shop. And so anyway, it's just pressing against this. So what I'm going to do is unwind the spring tension, pull this out, hammer that back around, and look for any more bent ones, and then put this back together, and I think we'll have a good recoil. There's actually nothing wrong with that recoil. Alright guys, I just had to show you this. The mystery thickens. I put the recoil back on, and it's working, so that's a good sign. And then I pulled off the little sediment bowl right there, and it was full of clean farm gas. So then I pulled off the main carburetor bowl, and it's bone dry, and it's absolutely spotless inside. And then I noticed that the fuel's turned off, so I thought, okay, well, there's got to be a problem with the fuel tap, because the fuel's not getting from the bowl to from the primary bowl to the main bowl. So I turn the fuel on, and fuel comes gushing out. So I suspect, guys, that whoever was operating this machine, or was sent to operate this machine at the greenhouse, failed to turn the fuel on, not able to start the machine, and thus threw it in the garbage. I kid you not, this is not the first time this has happened. I've been buying equipment with fuel taps off of different buy and sell websites for years that have not had the fuel turned on, and the owner has told me that the machine does not work. You turn the fuel on and it fires right up. So I have a feeling that there's nothing wrong with this machine based on what I've found so far. We're gonna put it back together right now, throw the fuel bowl back on. I'm gonna hook it up to some water, take it outside and start it, see if we get a good stream of water coming out of this pump. And if we do, then I'm gonna try and hunt down a fitting, because I've got an extra hose I can snap onto this. We can test this baby out. But I got a feeling, man, that there's nothing wrong with this, and we just scored ourselves a fantastic pressure washer. We'll just have to get another switch for it. Stay tuned. All right, so we got the water hooked up, and what I've gone and done is disconnected the switch and just joined the two connections together, so this thing is wired in the on position. To shut it off, you would just pull that apart, because that switch is broken. But let's give it a try here, guys. You should be able to see the pressure come out of that if that pump's working. So make sure, number one, you got your fuel turned on, and then you want to choke it, and that's your throttle there. We'll put it at about half throttle. I'm going to try and start it with one hand here. Alright, and we're going to turn the choke off. And look, we got pressure, guys. Awesome. Well, there you have it. Nothing wrong with the machine. That's easily worth over $1,000 new. Probably more than that, guys. Just gonna turn the water off here. All this thing needs is an engine oil change and a quick connect fitting for the hose, and we'll be pressure washing our way. It just blows my mind what some people will throw out. It's like money doesn't even matter. For more videos, subscribe. Thanks for watching.